PR30 Challenge Day 3. And today I would like to talk about these lists and habit trackers and morning and evening routines that we all put together for ourselves to try and adhere to when we are in pursuit of some sort of growth or change or goal or evolution in our lives. And how these things don't often work. We actually rather end up using them as weapons against ourselves. Another thing that we failed at, another thing that we are unable to do or incapable of following through with. And the reason why this is so top of mind for me is because I'm down at the beach visiting my mom. I've been here for about 10 days or so. And I came down here in pursuit of this journey. Why I'm doing this challenge, just mixing things up, doing brave, bold, scary things, change of scenery. And so I've been here 10 days, only unpacked my bags this morning. It would have driven me 6 months ago crazy that I hadn't done it. I would have been so mean to myself, and it would have made me feel like I was failing or that I wasn't being productive or that I wasn't doing things properly because it didn't fit into my kind of get organized framework for a day or for a week. But in the past few days, it hasn't bugged me at all because I have been quite literally jumping out of bed every morning really early to just get started on the day. And then I've been rolling into bed really late at night, satisfied with the day that I've had. So something like that just hasn't been a priority. I've literally gone to my bag, grabbed what I needed, and left. And I think it's because I just suddenly let go of this list of things I thought I should be doing because I read it somewhere or watched it somewhere or heard it somewhere. And instead of trying to adhere to this list that sounds really good, I rather started listening to and better understanding what is it that I wanted and how could I be in service of that. And it's not to say that your typical things that fall on these lists or in these routines aren't valid or really necessary. Journaling, meditating, exercising, listening to music, getting sunlight, whatever it might be, are really, really useful and necessary tools and resources. But I'm talking about the approach to those things where it's more a case of, okay, get it done if you want to do better, not which of these actually serves what I'm trying to do. So I've thought of how can a person, you, find what is the best way to find this combination of things that actually really does serve you. Because ultimately the way you should be spending your time every day in these routines that we speak of, they should be soothing or serving or igniting something in you. It shouldn't just be something that you're trying to tick off your list. So my thinking is, if we start with the what is it that I want? What is it that I'm trying to achieve? What is it that I'm working towards? Then you go to your why. As Simon Sinek says, find your why. Why is this important to me? Why am I doing this? Why do I want this? And then you have a reality check where you ask yourself, cool, yes, I understand what I want and why I want it, but is this real and true for me right now? Because I think we often pursue or try and attempt to pursue things that don't really fit in with where we're at. We're not being honest with ourselves with what our capacity or our bandwidth is. So we pursue things we think we should be following, but it's not really realistic. So a reality check. Is it good for me now? And am I actually going to do it? And then the last one is to then identify what your interferences are. Because I find that pursuing goals, just using the term loosely, goals in any sense or any sort of shift or change that you're seeking in yourself, pursuing goals really comes down to managing interferences. And by interferences, I mean doubt, anxiety, depression, stress, fear, grief that often comes up in processes like this, you name it. And a lot of these interferences will come up in pursuit of something. They come up on a daily basis. It's part of being human. And we're always very aware of what we want, right? What we say we want. But there's another layer to it, which is what we intrinsically need. So if I use a very generic, simple example of a person who says, I really, really want to lose weight. I want to go to gym and I want to lose weight, but they never understand why they're not able to actually do it. It's because they haven't tended to what the interferences are. So the second layer of the want and the need is the intrinsic need. It's your subconscious need that says, I need to feel safe. And feeling safe often comes with familiarity. And going through a big change like losing weight, going to a new gym can feel really unsafe. Even just the act of losing weight can feel unsafe because you're suddenly going to be in a body that you're not familiar with. Or the narrative or belief that I am not worthy of anything, or I have to always be suffering in some way. So having that underlying narrative or belief, so that intrinsic need, always trumps this want that we say we have. Oh, I want to lose weight. And with this intrinsic need comes all of those emotions of fear, doubt, anxiety, depression, and the list goes on. And I find that finding the right list of things to do, things to tend to every single day in your routine is more about finding the things that tend to those interferences. So it tends to the intrinsic need, and it tends to the emotions and mental states that come from that intrinsic need. So if your days are rather built around managing your anxiety or tending to your self-doubt or soothing your fear of rejection and abandonment or tending to your habit of avoidance and procrastination. If your morning and evening routines, for example, or your rhythm of the day or the practices that you engage in, if they tend to those interferences, you will find that you're more likely going to stick to these routines and you are more likely going to shift closer to the version of you that you are in pursuit of, because what you're doing is actually aligning with what you want.